الرحمن الرحيم وبه نستعين إنه خير ناصر ومعين وصلى الله على محمد وآله الطاهرين أما بعد فقد قال الله تعالى في كتابه المجيد فطرة الله التي فطر الناس عليها صلوات
اللهم صل على محمد.
Over a period of quite some time we have been discussing this verse فطرة الله التي فطر الناس عليها, which basically means that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that I've created mankind upon my own nature. Now, once we see the people around us and we see that we don't find things that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is referring to. What I mean to say is that when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has created us upon His own nature, it means, I'm repeating this for the newcomers. You see, Allah's nature, what is Allah's nature? Allah's nature, for example, if you want to see His attributes, you will get to know a little bit of, you'll have an awareness about who Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is. For example, when you say that He's Ar-Rahman and Rahim, you know He's compassionate, He's merciful, He's Rahman and Rahim. And then you see that He is Sattar, which means that He does not like to disclose the bad deeds of the people, and He, hides it away from others. And on the other hand, He is Ghaffar, which means that He's the most forgiving being ever. He forgives so much that He just says that He goes to the extent of saying in the Quran, Ya ibadi alladhina asrafu ala anfusihim la taqnutu min rahmatillah. And He is addressing the sinners. He says, and then once He says, Ya ibadi, my obedient servants. Now this abd itself is something that we really need to understand. And once you refer to Quran, you see Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has referred this word abd to Rasulullah. For example, He says, صلوات محمد وآل محمد
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد.
سبحان الذي أسرى بعبده ليلا من المسجد الحرام إلى المسجد الأقصى. Which means that, that He's referring to Rasulullah to be His abd, right? So if Rasulullah is abd, and now when He talks about the sinners, He says, you too are ibadi alladhina asrafu. So He loves us so much that He wants us to be at the level of a comfort, and He wants us to feel comfortable when speaking to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. If we have sinned, it doesn't make any difference. So He's a Ghaffar. He's the most forgiving, right? These are the attributes that you see, that you find in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And once we say that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has said that He has created all mankind upon His own nature, that means that those attributes, at least up to some extent, should be visible amongst ourselves, right? We should be compassionate to people because we were built that way. We were created that way. His nature was embedded inside us, inside our heart, inside our soul. So we need to be compassionate. We have to be compassionate. And once we are compassionate, that's because that's who we are. And that's how we should be, right? But once we see people are not compassionate and they're selfish, they don't care about anybody else. They don't care who anybody else is, even if they're very close to them, their friends or someone in trouble, someone in need, someone in distress. You don't want to help them. Why? Because you're selfish and you just say, it's about me, it's not about others. That's how you feel about others, right? You see someone, I'm not saying that you do, but you see people around yourself who feel that way. And they don't want to forgive anybody. Well, he's wronged me. He did this to me. I'm not going to forgive him. I'm not going to forgive him forever. What good does it do to you if you don't forgive? But once you forgive someone, in fact, you have forgiven yourself. What do I mean by that? You haven't sinned, right? You have forgiven yourself. What do I mean by that? That means that, you see, if you forgive someone, you're going to feel light-weighted. You have put yourself in extreme pain by not forgiving someone. Once you forgive someone, you're letting go. Just let go. You've released yourself of that stress and everything that I have, that agony and that the thing that the stress that you have inside yourself. I'm not gonna forgive that guy, and you keep on thinking and thinking about that thing over and over again. That is, you're harming yourself. And once you do that, you find peace at heart. You say, I've forgiven him, forget it. What's gone is gone. Why? Why do you feel good when you do good? Because you are returning back to your own nature, right? So that is the real religion. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala hasn't said that the real religion is Christianity. No, he doesn't mention that. As a matter of fact, in one verse he says, Inna dina indallahi al-Islam. Islam is the religion in the eyes of Allah. The only true religion in the eyes of Allah is Islam, right? But what is that Islam? He says, my nature. He doesn't say it's Christianity, Judaism, or whatever. All of those religions were Islam. Christianity was Islam. Judaism was Islam. But then Islam came along and it was named to be Islam, but that was also Islam. Since the time of Adam until today, until the day of the judgment, it's going to be Islam, right? So that true Islam is the nature upon who we were built. And once we find that people are praying namaz, they are on the right path by saying that. I mean, like their beliefs are okay. They believe in oneness of God. They believe in Rasulullah. They believe in Ahlul Bayt. And they're praying namaz and everything. They're fasting and they're practicing Muslim. But then you see, they don't have those attributes. They are not behaving in the way how when they were built to behave in a way where they were supposed to be close to the nature of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and you don't see any of those attributes inside them, right? So what does that mean? That's really something that you need to think about. Because you're praying. The guy is praying. The guy is following Islam. But that religion hasn't gone inside him. That religion hasn't gone inside his heart. That religion hasn't gone inside his spirit. That means all of his namaz, all of his ibadats, all of his worships are not helping him. Even his beliefs are not helping him. You might be surprised that some of the people, when they go on the day of the judgment and they stand before Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Allah will say that I will not accept any of your beliefs. I will not accept any of your namaz. Keep your namaz to yourself. Keep your fasting to yourself. Keep all of your religion that you believed in to yourself. That is not the religion that I, consider to be the right religion. So what is the true religion? The true religion is the nature that you were built upon. But you let go of that nature. How? Because once you became selfish, once you became arrogant, once you moved towards the materialistic world, now I want to come towards the topic. All of that was just repetition, right? But inshallah, I'll continue over the period of time until in the next coming days as well. Now, just have a few minutes. You have a materialistic world in the modern times, and then you have this kind of a thing that I've just discussed about Islam. Is Islam compatible with the materialistic world? That is a question for you, right? Well, the materialistic world says it's all about you, the survival of the fittest, right? Someone who's the strongest is going to survive. It's about you, the life that you're going to lead. You're the best. You're the man. You're going to do it. Be confident. Yeah, confidence is good, right? Okay. But is everything about you yourself? Or is it also about others? Is it also about a superior being? Is it also about Ahlul Bayt? It's not about you. Nothing is about you. You were not created for yourself. No jinn, no man and jinn were created other than to be obedient servants of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So how is that? The two extremes, are they related to each other? Are they compatible to each other? Can you survive in a modern society, in a modern world where everything is just materialistic? What does that mean? Well, materialism, you know what that means, right? But how can you survive? How can you be religious and survive in this world? That is the question that I want to place before you, and we're going to discuss it, inshallah, tomorrow and day after. Muhammad wa ali Muhammad salawat. Allah.